Okay, so you want to know what the best option is for secondhand locomotives. Well, obviously is that you need to look at what you need to look for. So anyway, when you go to train shows, you need to look for something like what you see here. So first one in the top is we need to look for locomotives that have a that are equipped with a DCC decoder. So on the side here, you'll see this is a so on the side here, you'll see the details here. So you need to so then we gotta look at the front. The wrong one, of course. Look what we got here. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. I gotta take this out. Okay, so this one has more. So the only thing I don't see on there is it's supposed to have a thing on there that says it's DCC ready, but I don't see one. But you'll recognize it because it's a Walthers Proto 2000 locomotive. These are in the wrong boxes, but I don't give a darn. Anyway, so yeah, that's just what to look for is something like this. I want to give you a full thing on there. Anyway, the next one would be another secondhand locomotive. Would be this one. This one's easier because you can see there's the box. There's a side of the box, at least most of it. So you can see it's DCC and sound equipped from the factory. Look at the other side. There you go. So that's a box right there. Then we just look inside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in another video. I'm gonna put like a different decoder in there. As you can see, there's the how they connect, and this is you can also get this in DCC ready. But like I said, just look for those, and you might find one. You never know when you can find one secondhand. You can also look online. That's another place to look. Then we have this new one. This is a new 484. This one's prototype accurate. That's the reason why it's so elegantly detailed. Just kind of close at it. I'll show you the price. It's $783. So it was quite a bit of money, but that's just brass hybrid. That's the reason why it was so expensive. But this one is only, I got this one for $200 straight up, and it came with a decoder. It came with two decoders actually. Next we have one locomotive which I really like. It's a Athearn Blue Box locomotive. This one is a diesel, but they also have some steam engines that are also Athearn. That are also from the Blue Box line, and I think those are pretty good runners. They are actually excellent runners, and they run like crazy. They're so good, and they're pretty much indestructible. So I would suggest, like I said, getting these at a secondhand. Trying to get these secondhand, or maybe getting these at a local, train show or whatever, and just buy these. And I mean, they sell like crazy, and these would be around $20 to $40 because they're standard DC. Hardly anybody really converts into DCC that much unless they want to spend an extra $60 on a board and a decoder, and so on. And then we have this one. This is an Atlas. This one actually doesn't require that much. It's a little bit easier to convert to DCC. This one is has a board in it, and you can swap the board out for a decoder, and you would not need to isolate the motor, which is awesome. And this one is one of the later makes. I think it is China built. Let's see if I can find information on it. Come on, focus. Well, it doesn't seem to have anything on the bottom, but anyway, this is a later build, about probably mid-90s or so. This one has a board in there, and this one has, you can put a decoder in the place of the board, and this is a fairly easy conversion. Like I said, any Atlas locomotive produced within the last 30 some years will be able to convert to DCC pretty darn easily, especially if they're made in the mid-90s or so. But anyway, that's just how they are now. So anyway, yeah, that's it. And also in the late 80s too, like I said, if they're made by Kato, they probably would have some form of like a board in there so you can convert them to DCC and put like your own headlights in there if you want. But like I said, it's a little bit easier for these ones because these ones already have a headlight in them, and all they have to do is swap the board out, and that's pretty much all they had to do. And they're cheap. They are like $20 to $30 on average, and you can get them anywhere, especially train show or even a secondhand hobby store, or hobby store or secondhand rather. And that's the two I would suggest getting, is this one and this one, the Athearn and the Atlas, Athearn Blue Box and Atlas red/black box locomotives. So, and I'm talking about the old ones, not the modern Master Series, obviously. The Classic line is what I'm talking about here. Atlas Classic, and then there's also Atlas Red Box. The Atlas Red Box is DCC ready with an 8-pin plug. And Atlas Classic line is black box, but it has a board in there so you can easily convert it. And that's the two I would suggest getting, is Atlas and Athearn. And there's also Mantua. And for new engines, I go with for a new steam engine, that's the new modern code would be Broadway Limited, or even I guess River Rossi would be good too. River Rossi is a little bit different, and also Rapido's trying to get into steam locomotives, and they're really expensive, but they're worth every single penny, I can tell you that. And then of course Walthers makes some locomotives. They make diesels primarily, but they did make steam engines a long time ago, so good luck finding those, right? And of course AHM, IHC, they make good steam engines, at least post 1991 or so. They made some pretty good steam locomotives. I would check out the ones that have the purple box or the tan box. Those two are from IHC are pretty good because they're partially made by Mahano, and that's a pretty good company. And then there's the AHM green box. Those ones are, I'm talking about the modern ones with the gold lining. Those ones are obviously higher quality. And those ones, most of the time, you will find those either straight up DC or DCC ready. But I would suggest going to trains.com to find one that's actually equipped with DCC, because you'll find a lot of cool stuff there. And also, Athearn and Genesis make some pretty good steam engines. You can find those for fairly inexpensively at trains.com, and also at different hobby stores if you're lucky. And of course, Manto is a pretty good company too. I mean, they're pretty good. They run solid. I had no problems with them, so they're pretty good. I was just getting the later ones like these. These ones are obviously with a DCC socket, and that's about it. So I think I think that's interesting to know. But anyway, that's just the nice thing to what you can get secondhand in terms of locomotives. Firsthand, I just check out Broadway Limited, Rivarossi, or Rapido for steam locomotives. For diesels, I go with Athearn or Atlas, because modern Athearn and Atlas locomotives are just really good. I mean, they have a 21-pin plug for the most part. They have, some of them even still have a 9-pin or 8-pin plug for backwards compatibility purposes. And those ones often do have sound, and they're really good. And they range from about $200 to $300 with sound. Without, it's about $100 to $150. So you really do get what you pay for. And starter sets are pretty good too. They're just, like I said, they come a long way since the late 90s. And of course, the modern train sets, there's two different versions. There's the high-end train set, then there's a low-end train set. There's really not a whole lot in the middle. And the nice thing about the train sets is that it's got everything. It's got a power pack. Most of them have power packs, track, even a plug-in, and a locomotive, some cars, and a caboose, if that's your thing. And they are usually pretty good. Walthers makes good ones, but if you want something that's going to be easy to put together, I go with Bachmann, because that's easier to assemble than Walthers track. Although there are some Walthers train sets that did use the Bachmann Easy Track, those ones came from about 10 years ago, and those are still pretty good. I would avoid the older train sets, because those ones are made prior to 1995, and those ones obviously have horn hook couplers, and most of the time you would find those at like a straight up secondhand store around Christmas time, So those are the kinds of things you set up around the Christmas tree. Whereas real train sets are usually ones that can be set up year round, and it can be set up anytime. Other track sets, the other way you can do it is to get a Kato starter set, like a Kato set of trains, train set, and then a Kato track set, and then a power pack. And you'd be set back about a little bit more money than most, but you would have at least a train, some track, and a power pack, all in three different components for less than $500. So you really are getting what you pay for with Kato. Whereas train sets usually come with everything, from Walthers and Bachmann. They're usually right around $200 to $300 on average. They didn't used to be like that, of course. That's about it. So yeah, I would avoid the older ones as much as you can. I would just get new train sets as much as you can. But anyway, I think that's a good way to start. In fact, I will go to Tammy's one of these days at the end of this video, and we're going to find out what's the cheapest train set we can buy. And you'll stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back after this short break.